Don't worry, we'll talk about this game obviously in a little bit here, but I want to talk about something else. I know I've made jokes about, the NFL being rigged and whatnot, and even though I kind of do believe certain games are fixed, I want to talk about something else that's a big conspiracy right now. There are legitimately people on the internet who believe Damar Hamlin was cloned, in that he wasn't actually at the Bills game yesterday and that he is dead. Guys, take the tinfoil hats off your head, and it's not a joke. There's tons of TikToks and tweets, and this is a big conspiracy right now. I just pointed out, I've said some dumb things in the past, but this is dumb. All these social media detectives gotta stop about the Idaho murders, about Damar Hamlin, about anything. You guys don't know anything. Shut up. It's honestly kind of just disrespectful at this point. Anyway, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and welcome to my NFL Divisional Round reactions. Got little to nothing to talk about until the video starts here, so before we get into it, we got a couple of quick plugs. One, head over to gfuel.com, use code WyattzWorld, save yourself a discount on any G Fuel products. I have 6 tubs coming in the mail, by the way, so reviews will be returning. And secondly, if you're 18 years or older, head over to Prize Picks, the daily fantasy app, where code WyattzWorld will match up to $100 of your first deposit. Remember, guys, always play responsibly, and let's get into the video. Alright, so the first game we had of the divisional round was Jacksonville at Kansas City, and honestly, I think it was the best game of the entire weekend. Here's the thing about it that makes me sick, though. Trevor Lawrence did everything he could to make this game, you know what it was. He did everything he could to win this game, and his teammates just kept losing it for him. I actually felt sick to my gut at the end of the game when he literally put his body on the line, got popped to get a first down, and then the next play, I think it was Hasty, fumbled the ball. You had that, you had Christian Kirk dropping a touchdown. It's just the entire day, Trevor Lawrence was getting slapped in the face by his own team, and it was so sad. Looking at the Jags numbers, Trevor, he did okay, 24 for 39, 217, a touchdown, a pick. Run game was actually really productive. They just didn't have a lot of attempts, and I'm not sure why, but that might be something Doug looks at now and kind of slaps his head over. And the receiving, even though nobody necessarily went off, they were actually pretty productive too. It was just an assortment of different people. You imagine if Christian Kirk would have had that second touchdown and probably, 80 yards on top of that? Feels bad, man. Now, peeking over at the Chiefs, this is where things tend to get a little bit more interesting because Mahomes suffered a high ankle sprain during this game. Meaning, I think he's going to be a little bit banged up for the rest of the season because he doesn't have time to rest, but the thing that's so interesting about it is Patrick Mahomes, with a high ankle sprain, still plays like a top 5 quarterback. You can see he was just fine, 22 for 30, no turnovers, 2 touchdowns. Chad Henne got in there in his absence for the one drive, he scored a touchdown. Pikachu had a crazy good day, 12 carries for 95 yards. He didn't score, which was a little bit sad. And if we look down at receiving, Travis Kelce was obviously the bell cow of the day, having 14 receptions for 98 yards and 2 touchdowns. Seriously, man, come on. Their defense was there. They sacked Trevor a couple times. They picked him off. I think it's safe to say Arrowhead was a little bit louder than Jacksonville was, and the Chiefs are going to the AFC Championship for the 5th straight time? All right, time for the next game, and it was the Giants at the Eagles, and this game was absolutely horrible. Not a lot to say on this one. I'll try and make it last, but I just want to apologize to the Giants fans. That was a repeat of the NFC Championship game in 2017 with the Vikings. Seriously, it was nearly a repeat, except the Giants didn't score on the opening drive. No part of this game was fun to watch at all, unless you were a Philadelphia fan, which I don't think a lot of people are. You look at it from a New York standpoint, Danny didn't do anything. He threw a pick, which really sucks because he hasn't done that in a long time, it seems like. Saquon Barkley, he had 6.8 yards a carry, but he only had 9 carries. He didn't score, he didn't do nothing. Matt Burrito was the sole touchdown. And the receiving is just, it's pathetic. And I already know people are going to be saying, like the thing I said about Jacksonville, well, it looks like their run game was productive, so they might be beating themselves up over it. Guys, I don't think they were ever in the game to begin with to the point where they could be running. They were getting blown out from start to finish. They were never in a run-first game. Chiefs game was close, man. This one wasn't. They didn't have a choice, and they got murdered. Flipping over and looking at the Eagles now, Jalen Hurts' MVP campaign only continues. I know they say the postseason doesn't matter, but we all know it does. Jalen had 3 more total touchdowns on the day, 2 with his arm, 1 with his legs, but like I've been mentioning previous weeks, when Jalen returns, so does the run game, and look at the run game now. 3 different guys scored with their legs. 2 of them nearly broke 100 yards. 1 of them did. They absolutely cooked New York. Receiving, yeah, they were kind of quiet. There was 2 passing touchdowns, which was nice to see, but nobody really did that much, which is understandable considering Jalen only threw for 154 yards, but that's gonna be completely fine when you have 38 points of offense. Also, looks like their defense sacked Danny about 4 times, and of course, James Bradberry picked off his old quarterback. That's about all I got for this game, though. It sucked. All right, next game we got is the Bengals at the Bills, and first and foremost, let's just get this out of the way. Congratulations, Cincinnati. Absolutely no resentment. You guys kicked the shit out of us, and that's basically just how it went. Good luck going forward, too. Like, I am going full bore for you guys until maybe you face San Francisco. I don't know. That'd be a really good game. Anyway, yeah, though, congrats, and that's it. Like, I have nothing bad to say about you guys. We can start off by quickly glancing over Cincinnati's offense. I don't think there's much for me to look at because it's just going to make me mad, but Joe Burrow had 2 passing touchdowns, went 23 for 36. Joe Mixon had 20 carries for 105 yards, 1 touchdown. Good Buffalo run D there. And if you look at the receiving, it looks like just about everybody decided to tag in and have their way with Buffalo. 5 receptions here, 5 receptions there, 5 receptions there. I mean, who wants more? This was one of the worst games I've ever seen called by Leslie Frazier, and any shot that he had for interviewing as a head coach is now once again completely dead. He does this every single year. So, yeah, with that being said, let's look at the Bills. Where do we even start? I mean, Josh Allen didn't have a passing touchdown, although he was the only rushing touchdown that Buffalo had, so he kind of compensated for it that way, but he wasn't good. The run wasn't good. Even though we never really gave the run game a chance, we only had 11 total carries between our 2 running backs. That's weird. Looking at our receiving, they were completely dead. Dawson Knox led 5 for 65. Other than that, none of the receivers were even close. It was a pathetic offense as well as the defense. You know, Ken Dorsey, I know he was going to interview with Carolina for a possible head coaching job. Kiss that goodbye. It makes me sick to even continue and look at this game. It was pathetic. And no, if you're wondering, do I blame Josh Allen? Absolutely not. The people who are now acting like he's a bottom 5 quarterback, you guys are idiots. Could he have done better this game? Sure, and so could have a lot of other people, including the entire defense. Honestly, the biggest concern I have right now is Stephon Diggs, because I saw him blow up on Josh on the sidelines, and I saw him run out of the stadium before the media could even get in the locker room. I'm hoping he was just being emotional about the loss, because if he wants out, I don't have time to go through that again. I'm not even sure where they're going to start this offseason as a whole, honestly. I feel very, very far away from a Super Bowl right now. Last year at this time, I felt close. Right now, it feels like we're just going back to square one because we just won 14 games for absolutely nothing. And finally, we've got the last divisional game. It was the Cowboys at the San Francisco 49ers, and I don't know if Dallas is going to agree with me or not on this one, but Dak Prescott 100% lost you guys this game. Both of his interceptions were absolutely horrible. I mean, brain dead bad, and I like Dak, but they were bad. And yeah, I might sound harsh, but guys, when your quarterback goes out and does that and you only lose by 7 points, I mean, it kind of falls on their shoulders. You had an opportunity to beat San Francisco and you didn't do it because of him. Other than Dak, who was terrible, we can look at the rushing. Zeke was awful, Tony was awful, and he snapped his ankle in half, which was disgusting. Receiving game really was absolutely terrible as well, other than CeeDee Lamb, who went 10 for 117. Aside from that, I mean, nobody had even 30. Nobody had a good day in general, besides the defense, who actually played really good. They held San Francisco under 20 points. That's like unheard of. But you guys lost. You lost because of Dak. Now looking at the San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy, he didn't score. He didn't throw a pick. He didn't really do nothing. The run game, they were pretty quiet too. Dallas played them very well. One of the most dangerous parts of San Francisco was contained, and still, they got by. This is what I'm talking about, man. It's what situation can this team not figure it out? They figure it out every week. Even when they can't run, even when Purdy's not balling out, when their leading receiver is their tight end with 95 yards, they still overcome, arguably, you know, the best defense in football. I would also just really quickly like to shout out Kittle with his crazy circus catch. That was awesome. And also Fred Warner had a hell of a game. And we'll end by talking about Robbie Good as gold because the man is 40 years old and he still ain't cracking, man. 100%. Look at that. 49ers Bengals. I'm hoping to see that game. Alright guys, and that is going to be all for my divisional round reactions though. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, you already know what to do. Comment, like, subscribe, turn that bell on. I do my best to post on this channel every single day. For my extra fans and my WWE fans, I will be posting Royal Rumble predictions on that channel sometime this week, so keep your eyes out. Anyway, with everything I just said, I'm going to hop off and get this edited so you guys can watch it on time. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and as always, I will see you the next time I upload.